Hello, and welcome to another edition of Spoken Voices. We hope that everyone is doing well. We hope that everyone is having a good time this summer. We would like to welcome in three people today, and we got three different talents, three young guys who are doing their thing. And let me start by introducing them. Mr. Torre Richardson, Mr. Tano the Prophet, and Brandon Bricks Martinez. Welcome, guys. Glad you guys took the time to come here this morning. I know you're tired.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. We're going to kick it up, though.
Let's do it.
We're going to kick it up. We're going to start from this way with Torre. Tell us who you are, what you do.
So my name is Torre Richardson. I am a singer-songwriter born and raised in Waterbury, Connecticut, currently residing in Danbury, Connecticut, and my passion is singing and performing.
Okay, how long you been doing it?
My whole life.
Oh, really?
Since out the womb. Since out the womb, man. Yeah.
Right. I hear you.
The answer.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Oh, man.
I know.
My man, Tano, originally from the Bronx, currently residing in Southbury, Connecticut.
Mhm.
And main thing is been making music since for 14 years now. Started out producing, engineering, the whole songwriting process,
Mhm.
and learned to record. Had no voice when I first started out, and
Uh-huh.
I built it to the point that I got right now. So
Okay.
just excited to inspire people to do the same thing, even when you feel like you can't do it in the beginning. So
What's your lane, though, man? What kind of music?
my
What's
main
your-
lane is hip hop rap, but right now I just currently started reggaeton.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay. Bricks,
Yes,
you've been
sir.
here before, son.
Yes, second time.
All right.
Was out from Newark, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Hip hop artist, singer songwriter. Been doing it for 4 to 5 years now. And music's always helped me get through my hard times. So that's why I'm here, man. We're all passionate. We're all passionate artists here.
Let them know again, what's your lane? What you doing?
Hip hop, rap.
All
I
right.
just speak from the heart. But I have I go with the flow. It could be an R&B song, it could be a reggae
That's the
song.
way to do it.
Whatever mood I'm in. If I
Mhm.
want to be expressive, I just express myself.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Okay. So we got the tri-state up in this piece.
Oh yeah,
Right.
you
Yes,
already
sir.
know.
We got Connecticut, the Bronx. I can relate to the Bronx.
Yeah.
Trinity Avenue and all that stuff. I got you. Right. And Jersey.
A big Jersey.
That big
Yeah.
Jersey bricks, which Newark, right?
Yeah, Brick City.
Brick City.
That's
You
how
already
it
know.
coincides.
How did you guys, and you can go however you want to answer this question, whoever wants to answer it first. How did you guys realize, like the first time you went, I really want to do this, as opposed to, like I do, sing in the house, right, and not get behind the mic. When did you guys decide, okay, I want to put myself out there, and I want to really, really sing, and I want to do something with this?
I'd say when I first started putting music out there and I got some feedback
Mhm.
and people were like, oh, like when you gonna come out with something new? And something clicked within me. I was like, okay, people are actually expecting this when I thought that it was nothing at the time.
Mhm.
So that
Mhm.
pushed me to actually keep creating something for people to look forward to.
Right.
And for me, it just created a momentum. And that's when I realized, okay, like this is, I like the energy that I'm giving this and I like the feedback I'm getting. So
Mhm.
let me pursue this further and see what could become of it. And sure enough, I started getting better at what I did, continue practicing, put the 10,000 hours in the craft.
Mhm.
Next thing you know, I started finding shows or shows found me and I started getting myself out there and got comfortable on stage.
Okay.
And I built the stage presence. So that's when it clicked with me.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. For me, I mean, I was already singing like in the church. That was like my first, location of like singing, but I didn't really think a lot of it because everyone was doing it.
Mhm.
It wasn't until that I kind of had left my first church that I grew up with, and I was in school. And I don't know if they still do it nowadays, but like they did like A Day, B Day, C Day, D Day, and like each of those days, each letter corresponded to what the kids were going to do specifically. So maybe A Day was like gym, B Days was science.
Mhm.
So whatever letter day it was, it happened to be music day.
Mhm.
And my chorus teacher, she had all of us like in groups of 4 or 5 do My Country 'Tis of Thee. Just unison, nothing harmony. We're kids like 9, 8 years old, so we don't really know nothing about it.
Mhm.
So I get with my group, we practice, and all the groups go, my group go. They started singing My Country 'Tis of Thee, and then everyone just got stage fright.
Mhm.
And as I'm hearing everyone kind of drop out like flies, you think I would do the same thing, but
Right.
for some reason I just sang it with more like just boisterous and
Stood
just
out.
you know
Took
and
the
you know
opportunity.
really sing it with passion. And next thing I knew was something out of a movie. Is like jaws were dropped,
Really?
and like
Wow.
I heard a huge applause, and like
Uh-huh.
my music teacher immediately put me in the choir, like her own like
Mhm.
personal show choir.
Uh-huh.
And I just remember that moment. I had to been like 9, 10, or 11. I was like,
Wow.
I just knew it then. I was like, I like this moment.
Right.
I like singing for people. I like how I just made them feel.
Right.
So that was my wake up call.
My Country 'Tis of Thee.
Yeah,
And you busted it out.
yeah,
You
man.
did a Marvin Gaye on it.
Yeah.
You notice I keep bringing up Marvin
Yeah,
Gaye.
man.
Yeah, all right.
That's a tough
Pretty-
song to sing.
It
That's
is.
a tough song. For me, it was my first performance too.
Where was
Because
it, by the way?
for me, I started music, not for other reasons, but besides myself. So it took
Mm.
me about maybe a year to 2 years in before I started dropping and going places. And up until a certain point, I never performed.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
it was like a DJ Drewski event. It's called the Movement Space in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And, I just submitted, and I was at work stressed because I did like an a cappella song. So it was like I just wrote it the day before. I had to learn it. Everyone there was performing with songs already pre-recorded, but I just remember when I performed, I was on the stage. There was about 80 people there, but the room just felt black.
Mhm.
Like it was just me and the microphone. And I felt comfortable. I felt more comfortable than I expected.
Mhm.
So, embracing that moment
It's
and
the best
performing, and then you feel the reaction of people, even if it's one person, but for even to have more than 5 to 10 to 15 people,
Mm-hmm.
cheering for you, it makes you. You become one with music at that moment.
Right.
You really do.
Right.
So
For sure.
that's kind of links us all where we all started.
That's awesome.
So, music to me is personal.
Yeah.
Because we all have our personal likes and dislikes and artists that we like and stuff that move us, right? But for each of you, is it important to do music that comes from inside?
Oh, yes.
Or do you think, because there's some music that's just out there. It has
Right.
no meaning to it, and
Right.
you can tell it has no meaning
Yeah.
because it sounds frivolous. It's
Yeah.
just out in the air. When you guys write music, when you guys think of music that you want to sing, even if it's someone else's piece, like in your case, Tourette, like if you say, I'm gonna sing this song, I'm gonna do a cover for this song, right? Is it something that you have to feel in order for you to really perform it well?
I feel like there's a different intention when you come with what you're creating for that kind of specific crowd. For me, it's I need to feel the message of what it is I'm trying to convey. And like, there's a lot of industries that they'll say, "Oh, just make this. You're gonna sing this because we're just trying to get to the youth." But my thing is, I want to get to the youth through a different message
Mhm.
than showing what the lifestyle they think is the right way, or just basically whatever in the moment. I feel like that's the best music that comes out.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Same for me. I'm definitely, I kind of, sometimes I categorize artists where like they're outside in and inside out,
Mhm.
where they take a lot that's from the outside and they, that they let that influence them, or
That's
they
what I
have
was saying.
something inside and they bring it out. I
Right.
prefer the latter than the other one.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so for me, I have to believe myself.
Right.
If I don't believe me, they won't believe me.
Of course.
And so, even if it's not my own song, if it's
Mhm.
someone else's message, but there's a connection,
Mhm.
I try to even be intentional when I'm singing a cover song, that some sort of connection that I can feel. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
I hear what he was saying or what she was saying, but like I feel that because maybe I have some sort of testimonial or some sort of past experience that can help me with whatever crowd I'm performing in front of. So I have to feel it.
Yeah.
I
Right.
can't, that's one of those, they say fake the funk. I can't fake the funk when I'm
Yeah,
performing.
no.
Yeah.
I gotta feel that.
Mhm.
And expressive is always the best way to go.
Mhm.
I only write music I feel.
Mhm.
As I said before, sometimes I write a song not knowing what the song's gonna entail. You start with a line,
That's the best
and
part.
it grows and
the
seeds
best
part.
grows into a flower. But I'm just now personally getting to the point where I want to perform more. 'Cause
Right.
I'm an artist who I'm more studio intent, and then I play my music and release it. But
Right.
now I'm getting to the point where I want to be expressive. I want to feel it, and I want people to react. Because that's the artist we are. We write
Right.
music that we're going through and people can relate to. So
Mhm.
now I want to be more selective in the songs I perform and who I perform them for, like you said. Because a lot of the times the crowd determines the song you're going to perform to.
For sure.
It's funny though because for the first time I went into the studio with my sons, Brandon and Nate, and they asked me to read something before certain verses that they did, and it was a not a weird feeling, but after I got in there, and my other son will tell you, he said that I was running into the booth to read what they wanted because it felt so natural.
Right.
Like you guys said, you can tell, I think, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong. You can tell once you get behind the mic, and I always say you can hear yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who, you know, we may look at and say, that don't sound right to me,
Yeah.
right? That voice doesn't sound that good to me, right? Don't you ever wonder, you know, and not to talk about anybody in particular, don't you ever wonder, can that person hear how they sound? You know, because you guys can hear how you sound, you know, and you know if you're off key, you know.
It's funny because like when we first started out, I know you guys have been through it too. Like in our minds, we're like, "Yo, that's hot." Like,
Yeah, you think it
but
sounds
but then it's like when you first started out,
Right.
and then you look back at it and you're like, "Wow,
You're
my
like,
voice
damn.
was so undeveloped."
Right.
And it's crazy, and I'm
Yeah,
sure because you're like you sing like crazy. So
Mhm.
think about it. Like when I first started rapping, it was like in the moment I was like, yeah, this is like the new thing.
Right.
And then I look back at it, I was like, oh God, like
Yeah, we progress, we grow.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's part of the development of the process, and just like
Right.
we
Finding
build it.
finding your sound is very important, and it
Mhm.
takes.
Mhm.
Some people can find their sound in a week, in a month, to a year. You know,
Uh-huh.
it takes.
Yeah.
When I first got into music, the people who were ahead of me that were, you have people who introduce you to the studio and
Of
music,
course.
and like, they all said, "Bro, just wait till you find your sound.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
gonna come, but once you do, you shoot for the moon. That's when you're trying a bunch of different sounds."
Mm-hmm.
And I think even for like on the vocal side, like I studied music in college, and so one of the biggest things that they advocated for the singers was to put a voice recorder in your lessons. They said you
Mhm.
only retain so much. So like you said, I'm hearing myself sing one way, but
Mhm.
then I hit that, after it's done recording, I'm like, yo, what is this?
That's what I'm saying, like-
I'm like, okay, we got some groundwork we got to do.
Right,
We got some
right.
support still.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So I even like just recording and like hearing yourself, or even building up your ear and sharpening that. You still sometimes it is hard to gauge, and because you also don't have other people's ears, so you don't know what you sound like to somebody else.
Right.
You could, you could be thinking like, okay, man, this day is just not it while you're performing.
Mhm.
But then you talk to someone like, yo, you were amazing, and you like,
Right.
Are
It
we,
goes
are we
both
hearing
ways.
the same thing?
Right,
So
right.
it's just really having that confidence, and regardless of whatever kind of day you have, you've built yourself up to where like, okay, whatever you're gonna give is gonna be some sort of quality.
Right.
It may not
Right.
always be 100 to what you think or what
Mhm.
your expectations are for yourself,
Mhm.
but at least you've built that up, and so someone's gonna hear something.
Right. And see, but my thing is too is this, and you hear yourself, right? Do you care, right? Of course, if you're an artist, you want people to like you.
Mhm.
You want people to relate to what you're saying. You want people to basically love what they're hearing. But do you really spend that much time thinking, I want to please the masses? Or is it, again, personal, right? Because you're always going to have somebody like, yo, man, I don't even like that dude, man. That dude's corny. I don't like the way he sounds. He doesn't sound like such and such. Because, nowadays, people ride with who's ever hot,
Yeah.
and say anybody else that's not that person, oh, man, that's whack. Do you care about the critics?
For me, not as much. I try to. How do I say this? I listen to wise counsel,
Mm-hmm.
because I think a lot of people do want to hear themselves speak, or they want to feel like their perspective has some sort of control over you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
for me, it doesn't. That's where when I said outside in to inside out artist,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like filtering out the noise and really taking what's necessary. Because I welcome open criticism that I know is going to help me. Like, yo, man, I love your tone on this, but maybe singing it from this place in your range might do this. That's something constructive that can help me. Like,
Right,
okay, cool.
right,
I
right.
didn't even think of it that way, because maybe I'm just used to doing it my format.
Right.
But like I said, you don't know those ears. So for me, when it comes to critics, I I listen to wise counsel.
Okay.
And that's how I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I'm like very similar on your end. I'll be open
Mm-hmm.
to suggestions, and like you said, like someone will point something out, and you're like, oh, I didn't even think about it like that.
Yeah.
I'll most likely take action towards that.
Mm-hmm.
But critics that have like some sort of negative connotation towards it,
Mm-hmm.
I don't pay attention to it because, like me or not, I'm gonna make what I make, and there's always a crowd for, your music and
Of course.
people
Yeah.
that actually love you for what you create
Of course.
and the message that you're portraying. So that's
Mm-hmm.
where I lie in that, just
Right.
doing what you love and continue to do that because you're gonna naturally have the gravitation of the people that follow your message. So
Of course.
You have to be selective. You know, you want to be able to be someone who can be spoken to and listen to criticism. But like for me personally, I didn't get into music for the masses. I did it for myself. So
Uh-huh.
everything I produced was for me to expressively get through something.
Mhm.
So I think I didn't really listen to people if besides my brother and probably my boy O. Because
Okay.
he's like an older brother to me too.
Right.
But
Of course.
those were two people that were older than me, and I knew they were really like hip hop enthusiasts. So
Right.
they would say things from a different perspective that you want to hear,
Mhm.
But to like a big degree, I try not to care to what anyone says because it's a personal relationship
Right.
for me. To me, and the microphone is very personal, so I try not to have outside opinions get in on because it has happened.
Of course.
You do try
Of
to
course.
listen.
Oh, yeah.
Of
You
course.
Yeah,
try.
for sure.
You have people who are in a certain lane say, "Hey, try this or do this,"
Mhm.
just because that's what works right now.
Right.
Like I did a drill song one day, and that's not me, but that's because people see you and they believe in you, and they're saying this is what's hot on the radio right now.
Right.
And you do it just to test it, but after it's like it's not who you are. It's not really you. So a blank canvas, whatever comes up, that's really that's the song that's supposed to be.
We talk a lot about on this show. We've talked a lot about mental health and stuff like that. Is it therapeutic?
oh,
Is the
Big time.
music therapeutic? And I can just say it from my point of view. I can, me, I go shave, and I'm singing my
Yeah, you sing it for an hour.
for an hour. Like, it is so therapeutic
Yeah.
for me with your music. Because you guys are on stage, you guys get up on stage. Is it therapeutic for you? Does it get you through a day?
oh yeah.
You
When
know.
it comes to writing lyrics and just
Mhm.
sometimes you're writing and you don't know where you're going with the writing, like you said, a
Mhm.
blank canvas, and next thing you know, you enter a flow state and lyrics come out, and then you read back at it and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, like I'm speaking to myself. I'm getting myself through something,
Right.
and it's a beautiful thing because once you actually record it and it becomes from the lyrics to the instrumental to the whole production itself,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear it, you're like, yo, is that me? And then it's like you're talking to yourself, and that's how I've always seen my music
Yeah.
before I start putting it out.
For sure.
It was always like just listen to my own. It was my therapy at the time, and I was just like, wow, like this is powerful.
Yeah.
Right.
That's another thing that clicked with me. I was like, I really
Mhm.
want to do this to a whole nother
Mhm.
degree.
Mm-hmm.
For me, yeah, same. I when I'm writing or performing or singing, like, and I've said this before, like I do it because I want to believe in myself. Like I write and create and perform to believe. And like I said, I gotta believe me first. So like even when I'm on a stage performing, man, I'm like, I'll even say to my audience, I'm like, look, this is for you. I like whatever, and I literally will say this. I'm like, whatever problems y'all got are still gonna be there,
Mm.
but this is just you and me right now.
Ooh.
Like feel this. If you want to
Ooh.
cry, if you want to scream, like I give that permission to the audience. Feel whatever you want to feel. I'm a
Yep.
feel
Mhm.
singer.
Like
So
that.
like when
Right.
I'm writing or I'm performing, like yo man, like I needed that. Like
Yeah,
man, because
like a
I'm
bridge.
sick of me.
Right.
So I needed to
Yeah,
write
I'm
that
sick
because
of me.
I'm sick of me. I need to get out of my own way.
Mhm.
So for me, it's definitely it's therapeutic. It's
That's
and it's
powerful.
freeing.
Yeah.
For me, it's free.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like how you open it. You're like, feel what you want to feel, cry, scream, whatever it is.
That's a nice
I'm giving you
bridge. I might use
permission.
that.
Yeah,
That's-
man.
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's
Like,
dope.
You have to make them feel comfortable.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
to
Mhm.
For
us.
sure, man. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's always expressive. For me, I recently just went through something. The song I'm gonna do today. It's just something I have moments where I'm like, all right, I really need to get out what I'm going through. So
Mhm.
when you express it, when you go through it, it really helps you move on from it. It helps you try to. And honestly, when you go back and listen to it, you can help grow from it. You can help learn. You can see that place that you were,
Right.
and then also look like, wow, I'm happy that I'm in a different mental space now, So
Mhm.
Everything's personal in music. When you're a real musician, when you're a real artist, and you're not doing it to post, you're not doing it for others.
Right.
You know, you can always hear it in the music.
Because it's personal.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can
yeah.
you can just always hear it, and you can know. And when you're someone who's going through something and you hear it, you know, it's like an instant connection. Like it just happens.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember, let's see if you guys did this too. If we go back to when you really started, I remember being a kid in the Bronx, right? Being a little boy, and I have an older brother and sister. And we get on the bus with my mom and dad, and I would start singing. I would start singing something I heard on TV, a commercial,
Yeah.
or something like that. My brother and sister wanted to kill me, you know, because I
You're
was
just doing it out loud, like
dude, I was singing loud
Yeah.
and whatnot. My father loved it, and my mother
he
loved
loved it.
Yeah, because you know they said, "Well, hey, this kid can wait a minute, right?" Brother and sister want to kill me and whatnot. You had to have known when y'all was small. Hold up, I got a thing to tell about Brad. There's a video of him singing.
Beans, man.
No, there's a song. There's a video of him singing. Who was Cher? There
I
was.
don't know what you're talking about.
Well, anyway, it was
I
a
don't know
song.
what you're talking about.
This kid,
Let's
I'm
go.
talking about. He had a brush.
Yeah.
I mean, and he was serious as a judge.
That's the whole family's favorite video.
Right?
Damn.
And he was like
I need to see
yay
that now.
big.
Yeah, I was-
He was
Yeah,
yay
man.
big. Tell me y'all didn't start and irritate people when y'all were young.
Oh, easily.
For sure. I had this like toy microphone. I don't know if they still build them, but they were like literally like plastic microphones, and then like you when you're little, you want to hear the echo. So they was,
Yeah.
you know, however it was built, I heard myself, and you couldn't stop me.
Yeah.
As soon as I
Yeah, that
had
was
the
it.
mic, like I had that little toy mic, you couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
My mom could be like, "Yo, dinner's ready." Like, all right, ma, hurry up. And
All
then
right.
like my younger brother, he would like just take the mic from me. He would just so yeah, man, for sure. I knew
That's
it. I knew
funny.
it then when I was at a young age. Yeah.
Right.
It's funny. I remember I had a small, tiny little piano.
Okay.
I guess that's when it started for me.
Mhm.
But that little piano, that was like my moment. Let's say my mom or my pops, like they would say something or yell at me.
Right.
I'd run upstairs like, they slap for nothing. I'll go and like play my piano and just like slam it.
The one with the sounds.
Yeah,
right?
the one with the
Right.
sounds.
Yeah.
That thing is like this
Yeah,
big,
yeah.
bro.
Mhm.
So I guess that's where it started because I play the piano now to structure all my music. So
Right.
hey,
Right.
Let's go.
And besides the story with you, your dad was a DJ.
Yeah, my dad.
Right.
was-
So music has always been something that was pumping in your house.
I had a heavy musical influence. I didn't realize it until
Mhm.
later on in my life.
I want to add to that.
Uh-huh.
I didn't. You know, we have all these tools that build us
Yep.
as kids in our
Yeah,
childhood,
for sure.
and then it's not until we get into a certain space that we look back in our life
Mhm.
and are like, wow, like I
Right.
actually was always around music.
Right.
You know, 'cause I
100%.
didn't. You know, I wasn't doing music in high school. You know,
No.
I would always say
You were
I would
being
be,
annoying.
yeah, I was being annoying. You know, I didn't start until I went through it, but when I started doing music, I'm like, damn, bro, like my dad was a DJ. He used to play music all the time. You know, my mom was a salsera. She danced salsa all the
Mhm.
time. So this is the musical ambiance in the house
Right.
all the time.
Mm.
I grew up with, you know, my stepfather. He introduced me to jazz and you know, all these classic singers, soulful singers, you know. So you have a lot of influence. You know,
Oh,
from
yeah.
that.
So like my pops, he started breakdancing way back when, like in the
Mhm.
beginning.
Okay.
And he's just always been the natural, you know, person that's been, you know, the what do you call it? The person that's what's the word?
Influencer,
Yeah, like a
pushing
natural
you,
influencer, just
yeah.
one
Mhm.
the entertainer, the one that's loud behind the mic. And I've always had that influence. So as I got older, now I started to see myself from how he actually used to do that.
Right.
Mhm.
So it's
Awesome.
always been natural.
And it
in the
is.
family.
It's an influence, and I can tell you this. It's an influence to me. I remember waking up listening to Miles Davis and stuff. My father blasting it on a Saturday, and then at that point, being young, going like, "Wow, I want to hear something else. I want to hear the Jackson Five. I don't. Why? What is he playing? Why is he playing it so loud?" When I got older, right. Basically, jazz is the only thing I want to hear now.
Mm.
You know, and I understood because I think with music like with rap, with being able to sing and whatnot, it expresses something, right? That other music probably expresses it to somebody else, but my thing was jazz and R&B. and whatnot, and it expresses and it lets you be able to tell people who you are through music. And like I always say, once you can be able to tap into who you are as an artist, everyone knows you.
Yeah.
Everyone gets to know you, and your music becomes better.
Yep.
You know, and we're at the end of the show because my producer keeps motioning to me. So you guys will perform
Oh,
and whatnot.
awesome.
For
So
sure, yeah.
which is great and whatnot. And I want to thank you guys for showing up this morning.
Sure.
Thank
And
you
you
for
know, I
having us
appreciate it.
again.
Thank you, man.
Love the conversation.
Mhm.
Love what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love it. And you guys are young, so
Yeah.
you know, I want you guys to keep pushing forward.
Mhm.
I always say, don't do a 9 to 5 if you don't have to. Live your dream.
Mm.
You know, just live your dream.
Come on.
You know, and if your
Come
dream
on.
doesn't make
Let's
you
do
$1
it.
million,
Mhm.
if it doesn't make you $1 million, you're living your dream. You have more than that. More than dollars could ever, you know, and wealth could ever give you. You have
Yeah.
peace of mind, and you have a
Happiness,
love
too.
of what you do
Yeah.
and happiness
Mhm.
and whatnot. What camera are we on? So we're not going to end it now. So we're going to have you guys perform. So
Love
Sure.
it.
we'll be back.
We'll be
All
back.
right, we'll be back.
See you soon.
Let's go.
That
1, 2. Here we go. He come on flat top, he come grooving up slowly. He got juju eyeballs, he's one holy roller. He got head down to his knees. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please, yeah. He wear no shoe shine, he got toe jam football, he shoot monkey finger, he shoot Coca-Cola, he says, I know you, and you know me. One thing I can tell you is you got to be free. Come together right now over me, yeah. He packed production. He got Walrus Gumbo. He got On No Sideboard. He got Spinal Cracker. He got feet down below his knees. Hold you in his arms and you can feel his disease. Come together, sit right now, sit over me. Yeah. Yeah. He roller coaster. He got early warning. He got muddy water. He won mojo filter. He says 1 and 1 and 1 is 3. Got to be good looking 'cause it's so hard to see. Come together, sit right now, yeah. I said come together, sit right now. I said come together, sit right now. Sit over me, yeah. Here we go. Very superstitious writings on the wall. Very superstitious ladders about to fall. 13 months, so baby, I broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck
todo va para la calle, siempre caliente, venimos de abajo. Ahora estoy al frente cuando voy a estar rompiendo. Mi mente la hace impaciente y el mundo es tuyo, escucha mi gente. DJ pon perreo en el club, ella quiere bailar, solo reggaetón, ey. Sale con todas sus amigas, en la noche la pues sale cabrón, ey. Son lobos que salen por la noche, las gatas se sintieron la presión, estamos empezando a las 9, tenemos otro casa amigos tomando el alcohol. Ven acá, ven acá, dime mami lo que quieres. Ven acá, es tuyo así que no esperes, ey. Oye, me llamo Tano el lobo, chiquitita quiere tomar una foto. Cuando me beso pilla que ya tiene novios, ahora estamos haciendo porno. This is what they want, so I give a reggaeton. What, llevo a reggaeton, mami dime lo que quieres. Solo reggaeton, ¿qué? Solo reggaeton. Speaking of my truth, that's from my best friend, I ain't fluent. El lobo solo by myself, it's been a moment. Let me take you to the crib, show you how I really do it. Told her something new, now she let it be my student. DJ pon perreo en el club, ella quiere bailar, solo reggaetón, ey. Sale con todas sus amigas, en la noche la pues sale cabrón, ey. Son lobos que salen por la noche, las gatas se sintieron la presión, estamos empezando a las 9, tenemos otro casa amigos tomando el alcohol. Te quieres sola en mi cama, por la mañana se no te mojada. Chingando por rímale a la rueda en mi cuarto, conmigo bebé se porta mala. Ey, mami te gusta, I know that's how you like to party. Mami te fruta, you know I love it when it's on. Ven acá, dime mami lo que quieres. Ven acá, es tuyo así que no esperes. La presión hacia los diamantes, ey, baby estoy aquí, sé tú buscarme, y eso va aquí para quedarme. Bring it close, no aparte. DJ pon perreo en el club, ella quiere bailar, solo reggaetón, ey. Sale con todas sus amigas, en la noche la pues sale cabrón, ey. Son lobos que salen por la noche, las gatas se sintieron la presión, estamos empezando a las 9, tenemos otro casa amigos tomando el alcohol. En VIP, bebé, sube mi botella. En la disco, sube mi botella. Ey. En VIP, bebé, sube mi botella. En la disco, sube mi botella. Abre la puerta, que ella para entrar. Dale, mami, no espera. Deja tu novio, ven para mi casa. Ey, que te le voy a reventar. Por la mañana, la reventar. Entonces rebote que te voy a calentar. Las mujeres en mi casa son como en los museos. Mira, todas son modelos. Son playboy, pinche cabrón. Ey, ellos quieren mi conexión. Yo, conmigo ellos sienten mi efecto. Ey, eso es lo que hago con dinero. Sin ropa me gusta tu cuerpo. Mami le encanta cuando entro. Si te pones pa' mí, I know you want it. Mami, yeah, no le corre. A ti sentaron en mi torre. Aquí buenos momentos, buenas notas. Ella los tiro, el puti se rebota. Yo no quiero conquistarte. Ella te amarre, chingándole en la cama, la sé que la tiene explota. En la disco de mi casa hay una party. Quito sonoro con los Bacardi. Yo tengo el alcohol y mucho mari. Ey, fume, ese party. Mírenme ahora, yeah. Fuck con más haters, esos zapatos de mis planes. En Puerto Rico ya tenemos un clan. Lo siento que tu novio convertido en mi fan. En VIP, bebé, sube mi botella. En la disco, sube mi botella. Abre la puerta, que ella para entrar. Dale, mami, no espera. Deja tu novio, ven para mi casa. Ey, que te le voy a reventar. Por la mañana, la reventar. Entonces rebote que te voy a calentar. Baby, ponte loca. Quítate la ropa, te reventémela encima y muéveme esas nalgotas. champaña en la copa. Yo sé que está rota, la dicta de la nota. Fuma y se descontrola, siempre anda sola, pastillas y rolas. Quiere todo horas y eso que no te remores porque tú ignores que tu novio tome nota porque así no te borra. Provocadora, me llame a todas horas. Ella quiere que le dé y a su novio ignora. El VIP, bebé, sube mi botella. En la disco, sube mi botella. Abre la puerta que ella para entrar. Dale mami, no espera. Deja a tu novio y ven para mi casa. Hey, que te le voy a reventar. Por la mañana la reventar. Entonces rebote que te voy a calentar. El VIP, bebé, sube mi botella. En la disco, sube mi botella. Abre la puerta que ella para entrar. Looking up to God every time I pray. Thinking about the times that I really lost my way. Wishing I could make a call from my father's sick. Had to learn my lesson, yeah, them streets is not the way. I come from the struggle when this music keep me safe. I knew if you ask her, I'm the one that got away. It couldn't knock me down, I had to go another way. Yeah, every time I open my eyes, yeah, I feel away. Cause I've been feeling depressed, sent the prayer for some God has got some weight up on my chest. I know that I struggle, yeah. I try to be the best, finger in the air if you feel me. Cause we done passed the test, yeah. All them days I wanted to give up, had to hit reset. Started thinking positive and manifesting, no regrets. Don't gotta worry about it, shorty, you a queen, yeah. I know I'm a king, if they talking let it ring. We gon' do our little thing, yeah. Yeah, I be ballin' for the win, but if I gotta take a L, yeah, I'ma charge it to the game and let it ring, yeah. You want some money, I just need some sanity, yeah. I hate the fact that we all come from broken families, yeah. We gotta switch it up, try to sit them down and talk about it, they ain't giving enough. Everybody want the top, but we don't see there's room enough. What is love? These shorties want some money, but it ain't enough. Man, I gotta focus up. Man, I gotta focus up. Bear with me. Yeah, I'm really talking from the heart. You miss the ones that switch up, they ain't here. I know it's God. You're looking out for me, he told me they ain't who you are. And you would give a jacket from your back, and they would rob. I gifted you a queen, and that's your mother. You a star. You gotta beat depression, cause that is where you fall. All the pain I put you through, you gotta take it on. You put it on your shoulders, get your weight up, life is hard. Yeah, but you see that light, it's me, I'm here with open arms. You never think you have nobody, you just gotta call. Yeah, all you need is music, let it out and then move on. Cause you know you meant for greatness, don't you doubt it, you the one. Yeah, you the one.
BeatStars.com.
Every time I wanted to give up, I had to hit reset. Yeah. I said every time I wanted to give up, I had to hit reset. Every time I wanted to give up, I had to hit reset.